My coworker filed an HR complaint because I flirted with the guy she had a crush on, who was actually my boyfriend of 3 years. She humiliated herself so badly she quit 2 weeks later. I graduated college with a degree in accounting and couldn't find a job for 5 months. I applied to over 40 places. I got a few interviews, but nothing stuck. I was starting to think my degree was a $38,000 piece of paper that was going to collect dust in my desk drawer forever. My boyfriend Leo and I had been together for 3 years at that point, and his mom Francine owned a mid-size insurance company with about 60 employees. One night at dinner, Francine mentioned they had an opening in their accounting department and that I should apply. I immediately said no. I told her I didn't want special treatment. She put her fork down and looked at me and said there wouldn't be any. She said I'd go through the same interview process as everyone else, and that if the department head didn't think I was qualified, I wouldn't get the job. Leo backed her up. He said his mom ran the company like a business, not a family favor factory. So I applied. I interviewed with the department head for 45 minutes and got the job based on my resume and my answers. Francine told me afterward she didn't sit in on the interview, didn't say a word to anyone about who I was, and didn't even mention my name to the hiring team. I asked her and Leo to keep it that way permanently. I didn't want to be the girl who got the job because she was dating the owner's son. Leo worked there too. He ran the operations side of the company from his own office on the second floor. I was on the first floor with the rest of the accounting team. We agreed that at work we'd be professional. No pet names, no hand-holding, no lunch dates in the break room. If we talked, it would be about work, and we'd keep it short. For the first couple of months, it worked perfectly. Nobody knew. I showed up, did my job, and went home. My team liked me. My manager Dawson said I was picking things up fast. Everything was fine. Then I started noticing something. The women on my floor talked about Leo constantly. Not in a professional way. In a he's so cute, I wonder if he's single way. There was a group of 3 in particular. Heather, Jess, and Naomi. They sat near me, and every time Leo walked through the first floor to check on something, they'd whisper and giggle like we were in high school. Heather was the worst. She'd find any excuse to go to the second floor. She volunteered for every task that required going to operations. She brought Leo coffee once and told everyone in the break room that he smiled at her and said thanks. She talked about that smile for 2 days. Jess was more subtle, but she'd always fix her hair when Leo came downstairs. Naomi straight up told me during lunch that she was going to ask Leo out before the company holiday party. I just nodded and ate my food. I didn't say anything because what was I supposed to say? That's my boyfriend? I made a choice to keep it private, and I was sticking to it. The problem started when Leo came to my desk one afternoon to ask me about a billing number for a client file. Normal work stuff. He stood at my desk for maybe 3 minutes. We talked about the file. He said thanks and walked away. That was it. The next morning, Heather asked me if Leo and I knew each other outside of work. I said no. She said it seemed like he was really comfortable talking to me. I told her he was just asking about a file. She said okay, but the way she said it had a tone. Like she didn't believe me but was giving me one chance to come clean. After that, Leo came to my desk 2 more times in the same week because we were working on the same account. Both times were quick. Both times were professional. But Heather started making comments. She told Jess and Naomi that I was finding excuses to talk to Leo. She said I was always looking at him when he walked by. I wasn't. I was at my desk doing my job. The following week, Naomi stopped eating lunch with me. Jess moved her things to a different section of the desk cluster so she wasn't sitting next to me anymore. Heather started being cold. Short answers. No eye contact. If I asked a question about a file, she'd respond with one word or just point at her screen. Then during a break, she said it was kind of obvious that I was trying to get Leo's attention and that it was unprofessional. I told her I was doing my job and that Leo came to me about work. She said sure. After that, things escalated fast. The 3 of them started going to Dawson with complaints about me. Heather told him